Yeah, I mean, like, it's a very thin line when you're talking about who is evil and who's good, because, like, Batman is kind of like your... Batman, in the most part, is, Batman actually, in many ways, is more notably good than Superman, even though people are probably going to probably comment, because Batman understands that... I think Batman has a better understanding of how the world works, where Superman is an idealist. So even though Batman seems like he's dark and he's gritty, he's actually doing what is necessary. And even though Ra's al Ghul says he won't do what is necessary, I think that's the difference between him and Superman, is Batman does what is necessary. Superman is probably not the character you would see in the sewers all day looking for a villain, because he would probably just be flying above the sky and waiting for the guy to come out, where Batman would be the guy in the sewers hunting him down.
Yeah, that's true. Like, Superman is like, Bruce, you're going too far, you're going too far. Truly, if people are running around my streets, raping, killing, raiding, killing just random little girls, and, you know, in the case of Mad Hatter again, you know, taking little girls, doing God knows what with them, bringing them to drink his tea, I wouldn't be like, okay, you can come out now.
Yeah. Another...
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah, another thing I have to mention... is there a problem there?
No, it's just my my thing skizzed out a little. My dad called me, but we can finish this up a little.
Okay. Another thing I have to mention about how much time do you have, or do you have to get going soon?
I mean, I don't have to get going yet. I mean, I have maybe 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes? Okay. Okay, so we'll finish the Batman part, and then we'll schedule time to do the to finish up the other characters later. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So the thing about Superman is, and somebody mentioned this to me. I don't know who, but somebody mentioned this to me. Is that Superman probably has a bigger kill rate than most of Batman's villains. Because if you think about it, Superman will throw Brainiac into a building loaded with people.
Yes, he will, and Batman will probably not do that. Batman's one of the only heroes that are like, we can't do this because we're in the middle of a packed city and we might kill people.
Yes, and Superman, Superman seems like he's this noble character, but yeah, I could swear I've read a comic where he picks up a building and smashes a villain with it.
Yes, that happens a lot. Like, I remember there was an episode of Justice League Unlimited. He was like, okay, I've never been able to let go, but now I can let go here. And then he punches him, and he throws him through, like, office buildings. I'm like, but you're not, but letting go is going to kill people. You're still in the middle of a city.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is ridiculous because, I mean, you have these characters who say they don't kill, but the people but the widow of the guy that just died because he was in a building, I think would think differently.
Yes, yeah. The idea of Superman always kind of baffled me because I think the one time Superman actually thought of the civilians is in the Death of Superman, where he tries to get Doomsday out of the city because he's like, you're too powerful, you know, you can wink and somebody will die. I think that's the smartest just writing of Superman, because Superman thinks about people all the time. Batman, Superman doesn't think about people all the time. Batman always thinks about people, you know. Well, then again, you know, Batman's not fighting, Brainiac and throwing him through buildings.
Well, I think he has actually fought Brainiac before. I mean, he's fought a lot of Superman villains in the comics, if I'm not mistaken. He doesn't fight them commonly, but he has fought them before. He uses tricks to fight them. And that's the thing about Brainiac, is that Brainiac shouldn't lose.
Lex Luthor is actually a better villain for Batman than Superman, because Superman, though Lex Luthor is a very good villain just mentally, he can defeat him. I think the idea of Batman being just as smart as Lex Luthor and them fighting with their minds is a really interesting idea.
So, who do you want to see as the villain in Superman? Because they are coming out with the Superman movie, so who do you want to see as his...
Brainiac.
I'm completely with you. That's who I want to see. Do you want to see Lex Luthor in the movie?
Behind the curtain, pulling the strings. That's it.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Lex Luthor kind of I kind of want to see Lex Luthor more in the mainstream and kind of be like, ooh, this all-powerful guy. I'm gonna go team up with him and I'm gonna manipulate him, and in the end, I'm gonna get my upper hand on him and completely and have Brainiac actually doing that to Lex Luthor and have him basically be like his eyes and ears in the world.
Yeah, but a thing I really thought was interesting was they're never going to do it, but combining Lex Luthor with Brainiac for just one episode of JLA, where the idea is Brainiac is the smartest thing in the universe, but once he finishes, absorbing all the technology and taking over, the planet, just wiping it of its energy and its information, he has nothing else to do. He's just, that's the end of his programming. And Lex Luthor is just like, I'll give you something to do,
Well, I know the Justice League TV show dealt with that, and I think somebody asked him, what are you going to do once you meet your goal? And you know what his answer was?
That's the end of my programming.
No, his answer was, I'm going to terminate myself.
Really?
Yes.
That's smart writing.
I always love that because basically he's going to soak up all the knowledge of the universe while killing it and then kill himself.
That's really all you can do. I mean, you suck up the universe, you kill a lot of people. What are you going to do?
Yeah, but I would want to see, I would actually want to see Cyborg kind of like Terminator-esque if they ever did him in a film, because we got a pretty good Brainiac in Smallville, but I want to see more of the $50 million budget Brainiac that actually needs a movie to do Brainiac. You can always use Krypton if that's, but I mean you could do so much more if you wanted to.
Yeah, I always like the idea of Brainiac trying to enslave the human race, and really. I think one of the smartest things that they did in Smallville came at the end of the 7th season where he's fighting Brainiac, and then Brainiac's like, you can't kill me. You will never take a life. I'm a man. And then he says, you're not a man. You're a machine. And he shocks him, and he just overloads him. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely want to see Brainiac, and I definitely want to see him in a film. But I want to see, I don't know if, basically, hearing that Christopher Nolan is going to be godfathering it, I don't know exactly what that means. That's kind of scaring me because so now we're going to get emo Superman.
Superman's going to be brooding the whole time.
Yes, and that scares me. I don't know if it scares you. Does that scare you?
He's going to talk like this. Where's Lex Luthor going?
Yeah. I mean, it could work if it's the villains that are brooding and that are dark.
Yeah, it could. Because Superman villains can be very dark.
Well, hey, Lex Luthor has done probably his share of very evil things, but yeah. I mean, if you're going to do a dark Superman, I kind of want to do... I wouldn't do Brainiac, I'd actually do Bizarro, because I think Bizarro kind of like Lex Luthor trying to clone Superman and then coming out with this bastard half clone, or this messed up clone that's trying to save people while destroying things is kind of dark in itself. Yeah,
I think with Smallville's interpretation of Bizarro, I kind of missed the whole idea that he was trying to save people. He just seemed straight up evil.
Yeah, but I would kind of like if they did a dark Superman movie, I'd kind of like I think he would be the best villain to do. Other than Darkseid, but I don't think they would ever do Darkseid.
I think the thing with Bizarro that you could really do a good Dark Superman movie is Bizarro is a clone of Superman, so you can see what Superman could be like.
Well, I would kind of want to go more with the thing that Bizarro is actually a good guy. He's actually trying to save people. So he picks up a train and he throws it into the water or something, or he throws it over to the cement and it busts and everybody dies. So he did try to save them, just not very successfully.
Yeah, I mean, that's always open. You can interpret it both ways. You could do it really dark, and it depends on the director, because you could also do it really funny. He's like, I must save you, and then he opens the train, and everybody's scared of him, and he's like, I have saved you, and he starts pushing people out the window like, I'm saving you.
Yeah, I would kind of go more dark. Because I think
I think
he's the one villain that you can do very dark, very good. other than Lex Luthor, because you can obviously do Lex Luthor very dark, but I don't want Lex Luthor as the main villain again.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
And I don't want Kryptonite again.
At
least for a while.
I think Kryptonite could work if Kryptonite could work in the film even with Lex Luthor, but that's kind of like at near the end of the movie where basically whatever Lex Luthor does, his plan goes awry and he's like, oh my god, I gotta fix this problem. So he picks up a piece of Kryptonite and for some reason it gets knocked out of his hand and he loses.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because like he would always fall back on Kryptonite, but also, this is going to be a reboot, so I also don't want the origin story again. How do you feel about origin story?
I do not want his origin story again. We just got a 6-issue arc about his origin. We have Smallville. We have the first movie. I'm tired of seeing his origin.
Yeah, we have a 10-season TV series about his origin, so if people don't know Superman's origin, then they aren't going to see this movie, so...
There's going to be a little note in the beginning that says, go see Smallville for filling in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they could get Tom Welling to play Superman, would you be for or against that?
I like Tom Welling as Superman. I think he really captures that idea of, he's the good guy. I mean, I never really get, unless he's playing Bizarro, he clearly seems like the good guy when he plays Superman, and I really like that.
I don't think he can really play, I think he plays a horrible, Clark Kent.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that duality. He's never really clumsy. He's just like, he almost seems like partly Superman when he's Clark Kent.
Yes, and I'm kind of like, how do you not know this guy's a blur?
Yes. I mean, every 5 minutes you just feel this gust of wind rush to you, and his glasses are on the table, and his chair is spinning. I wonder.
He doesn't even have glasses. I mean, you never get to see the Blur's face, but, I mean, like for the first 6 or 7 seasons, he was wearing red and blue. Yes. And, put 2 and 2 together. I mean, some of these people, that's the comment, that's the thing I heard a while back was the person I've ever seen, because she is a reporter, an ace reporter, who goes to a scene, a crash, has Clark Kent right next to him. Next minute, Clark Kent is gone. She's looking for Clark Kent. Superman comes, saves the day, comes back down, and all he's wearing is a pair of glasses, and his hair can't put 2 and 2 together.
No, that's like Bruce Wayne show, and the first 7 seasons, he has a black T-shirt on and maybe a little bat signal, and then he suddenly stops wearing that, and he starts doing the same thing that Superman does, wearing half a costume, and no one putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about in the comics, Lois Lane is a dunce. And you can't figure out that Clark Kent's Superman when you're right there. Then get it.
Plus, it took him to take off his glasses, open his shirt, and say, "Hey, Lois, I'm Superman." For her to say, "Wait, he's Superman."
Yeah. 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 How do you feel about, Doomsday?
How do I feel about Doomsday?
As a villain in a Superman movie.
I think that he's good, but unless you're going to do the Death of Superman arc, which I don't think should happen in the first movie, I don't think he really should be used.
Yeah. I don't know, I agree with you on that, but I think he also, yet again, is a villain you can do very dark, because there's nothing good about that character.
Yeah.
There are certain villains, there are certain villains I never want to see in a movie. I never want to see Toy Movie in a movie.
Yeah.
Toyman. I don't want to see Toyman in a movie. Metallo, fine. Parasite, I don't think so.
Yeah, Parasite's just a big walking purple.
He could work as multiple, if they did Metallo and Parasite, maybe, but Toyman, no way. You can't use him, don't use him. If you try to use him, I will shoot you.
Yeah, well, the thing about Toyman is I think there's a way to do dark Toyman, but try to experiment with it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we kind of talked about Superman. So I'm gonna stop recording here. You said you kind of got to get going. So
Okay. What was that?
do you want to do this next week?
Sure.